In this video, I want to show you why playing at the beginning of the season is way better than playing at the end of the season. At the beginning of the season, many players from high ranks drop back to Epic and Legend. Because of that, a lot of people don't recommend playing ranked during this period, since you can end up facing pro players or extremely skilled opponents. However, I actually highly recommend it. Playing against stronger players can help improve your skills, and you don't have to grind all the way to Mythical Immortal just to find worthy opponents. And if you play in a squad, the chances of facing strong players are even higher, so I would recommend playing as a trio. For this test, though, I deliberately played solo queue because most of my matches in the previous video were also solo queue. So far, I've played 12 matches and achieved a much better win rate than I did at the end of the season. I mainly used tankier heroes because, in this patch, roaming heroes received a buff through the Dire Hit passive. Now, moving around builds stacks and grants bonus movement speed of up to 40%. Once the stacks reach 20, your next attack deals additional true damage based on the number of stacks. However, you still can't completely avoid the dark system, especially when playing solo queue. But from my experience, winning at the beginning of the season is still much easier than at the end. So, here are some tips to help you win more games at the beginning of the season. Learning the patch is one of the most important things to do when the season resets. So, let's quickly go over some of the most important changes in Season 41. First, Roam Blessings have received some buffs. Dire Hit, as I mentioned earlier, has been buffed, and Conceal's cooldown has been reduced from 80 seconds to 60 seconds. However, Roamer are no longer as effective at taking minions as they were before. For the first 8 minutes of the game, Roamers now receive only 30% of the minion rewards, while before they could receive up to 50% when farming alone. And then, there are also some changes for junglers. Buff and creeps now spawn at the same time, making jungle pathing much more diverse. There is the standard route that starts from the buff as usual. There's also a recommended route that starts from this creep, allowing you to reach level 2 immediately after clearing it. However, I wouldn't recommend this route if you're playing solo queue, because it leaves your jungle vulnerable to invasions and can put you behind in levels. Lastly, there's a high-risk route where you invade and take the enemy's creep to deny their levels. This is the riskiest option because you can easily get picked off, especially if your roamer and mid laner are weak in the early game. However, it's also the most rewarding route. If the invade succeeds, you'll reach level 5 by the time the first turtle spawns, while the enemy jungler is still level 4. This level advantage is huge because your retribution will deal 150 more damage than theirs, giving you a much better chance of securing the turtle. On top of that, retribution now scales up to 3,000 damage in the late game, and if needed, you can even sell your boots and replace them with another item. Don't be reckless. That's one of the keys to winning consistently. For example, when the Lord is about to spawn, avoid forcing unnecessary fights, especially if your team isn't together or if you're fighting near the enemy base. A bad team fight at this stage can easily give the enemy a chance to make a comeback. This is even more important in solo queue, where coordination can be difficult. If you're already ahead, it's usually better to just wait for the Lord to spawn. If a team fight breaks out and it looks winnable, then help your teammates, because winning that fight will make securing the Lord much easier. However, if the fight doesn't look good, it's usually better to stay focused on the objective and prioritize the Lord instead. Using meta heroes can also increase your chances of winning. And one example is Hanzo, who received a significant buff, especially to his ultimate cooldown. His skill 1 can now be used on both the turtle and the lord while in ultimate form. However, he also received a nerf. If his ultimate form gets killed, the cooldown will be doubled compared to when it ends normally. This means you need to be more careful with your ultimate and make sure it doesn't get killed unnecessarily. If you face this hero, use strong burst combos like Natalia, Paquito, Phoveus, and others. All you need to do is wait for him to use his ultimate. Once he returns to his original body, quickly burst him down before he has a chance to react. Or you can simply kill his shadow. Once it's eliminated, Hanzo will be slowed, making it much easier to pick him off. And in this season, many support heroes have also received buffs, which means Balmond could be a solid pick as well. His physical defense reduction effect has been moved from skill 1 to skill 2, which is a significant buff for him. Now, whenever he uses skill 2, all enemies caught in its area will be affected by the physical defense reduction, making it much easier for Balmond to deal damage. If you face this hero, you can pick heroes that can shred his defenses, such as Carry and Dairoth. However, I've also faced him while playing Hanzo and was still able to take him down, although my roamer did help me. And yup, that's all I wanted to say. The reason I prefer playing at the start of the season is because a lot of high-ranked players get reset to Epic and Legend, which gives you the chance to play with or against them. It makes the games more challenging and helps you improve faster. But if you're not that competitive, I'd suggest waiting at least a week before playing Ranked. By then, most of those players will have already climbed back to Mythic. If you have any questions, comment down below.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go.